These traces of prophecy, run boy run, break out from society.
In a perfect world, that would be Flash's theme song. With Flashpoint, I think it's right up there with Under the Red Hood. I wasn't crazy about the animation, but despite whatever problems I might have had with the animation, or with the fact that in general Barry Allen is not my favorite Flash, I think this movie has a very strong emotional core. Outside of the pacing, which I think is handled very well, and just the characterization of the different superheroes and how different their versions are from one another, the good version versus the bad fucked up version. What I really loved about Flashpoint is that things escalate very quickly, and when they reach their boiling point, it is really fucked up. You really understand why Barry would be desperate to change the situation. When it's the end of the world, it really is the end of the world, and it hits you hard emotionally because you see your favorite superheroes act like, assholes. But I did not like the animation in some parts. I think the main characters, which is Flash, is Barry Allen, and even Thomas Wayne Batman, I kind of got used to them. I really liked the look of weakling Superman. But when it comes to Aquaman and Wonder Woman, no. Aquaman and Cyborg looked like they were on steroids, and Wonder Woman's face didn't really fit with her body. Her face was still very childlike and anime, whereas her body was, strong Amazon, gonna kick your ass body. Also, Barry Allen is not my favorite Flash. I think he's a rather bland character. But I really liked in this movie that he represented our point of view, he represented our heart. He was a good guy, he was a decent, honest guy with enough willpower, and he did have those Barry Allen characteristics. You could understand this is the same character that would sacrifice himself during the Crisis on Infinite Earths in the 80s. He is that kind of superhero, the one that represents hope and will and the undying desire to do good. So when Barry Allen wanted to change things and to make everything better, you were rooting for him. It was that kind of superhero in this particular movie where you were really rooting for him. But I did love Thomas Wayne's humor and his sarcasm and his wit, because he was such a dark character, but he had such a way of talking and such a way of giving out one-liners that this was also in the comic book, but I just really liked the lightness and the darkness that played around in that character. Like I said, Under the Red Hood and Flashpoint both hit their marks in terms of emotional content and the fact that they make you feel for these characters. But at the same time, I find it interesting that right at the end of Flashpoint, in the comic books, it is explained that this is the starting point for the New 52. At the end of the story, there are things about this universe that are changed. In the movie, there is no mention of these changes, but you see the costumes of the superhero change to the versions that they are now in the New 52. And I just found it very interesting that they never explained that, or just were supposed to go along with it, I guess. Pew 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 pew.